Hi guys, welcome to our class. If you're coming back to these classes and they're landing for you, I do encourage you to hit the notification button so you know when my new classes are released. And as always, thank you for subscribing to this work. It really means a lot to me. When you're ready, get yourself in a nice comfortable sitting position. Soften the gaze or close the eyes. And just tune into the body. Today we're going to take things nice and slow and intuitively, like most of my other classes. But today, a lot of what we're going to be working on is opening the front of our body. After a long week of work where it's been a little stressful, maybe we haven't had the most time to prioritize our well-being. And for a lot of us, we sit most of the day. We close off the front of our body. For the beginning, let's do a little bit of a breath practice. We're going to work on alternate nostril breathing. Pretty simple. You take your thumb and put it on one of your nostrils. Breathe into the opposite nostril. Plug the nostril you just breathed into. Breathe out the opposite nostril. Breathe in that same nostril. Switch which nostril is being plugged. Repeat this patterning. When it comes to alternate nostril breathing, we are able to really find a balance from left to right. In general, you will have a dominant side that you breathe into. When we work on alternate nostril breathing, we're trying to find a centralized point between left and right. It also is going to encourage us to breathe more deeply and efficiently by using our upper nasal passageway. That'll warm up the air and actually create a larger pressure exchange, allowing our lungs to have a greater chance to exchange more oxygen in our body. Good. Go ahead and let that breathing technique go. Bring your hands to your knees and just start to intuitively rock your torso in nice big full circles. Pressing the hands down into the knees to keep the hips neutral as you find full articulation of our spine. And really try to enjoy this moment for yourself. Start to deepen the breath as you drop into your body and find some nice juicy stretches throughout your spine and torso. Good, and then switch directions of the circles. And if you find a juicy stretch, stay with it for a little bit, right? This is just a form of waking up and noticing where things feel sticky in the body. Right, we're not going to know what the needs of our body and being is unless we get into the body, listen to it, and find the areas that feel like they need attention. Stop the circles and just roll the shoulders up towards your ears and down your back. There should be a slight engagement of core here, so we're really isolating the stretch simply through our shoulders and rib area. And then start to make the circles a little bit bigger. Incorporate your arms. You're kind of doing windmills with your arms, moving in circles. Wiggle your fingers. Widen the space between the chest and the arms, reach away from your center line, and really start to stretch out the connective tissue lines of our shoulders and arms. Good. Exhale, bring the arms back down. Switch direction with the circles of the shoulders. Shoulders are going from the back, rounding forward into the chest. And then make the circles a little bit bigger as you incorporate your arms, windmilling them forward. Rooting down through your sits bones or your hip. Active engagement through the belly. Fingers are moving, wrists are moving. You can even incorporate a bit of a head turns side to side. So we open up the carriage that holds our shoulders and our neck onto the ribs and onto the spine. Then let the arms go and roll your head, big circles from one shoulder back to the other shoulder and down to your chest. Moving at your own pace, allowing yourself to linger in certain positions that feel extra juicy or sticky. Try to land in those gentle stretches of roughly 80% of your capacity. Be gentle with the neck and hold it for roughly 30 seconds or 10 full cycles of breath before you go back into the circle motion of the neck. Take a nice big deep breath into the front of the throat, and then with strength come back to center. Spine goes long. Bring your hands behind you, fingertips facing towards your hips. Puff out the chest, lengthen the legs long, shake out the hips. Good, in that same orientation of the neck with the chin lifting up and head, gently dropping back. Find that again, but incorporate a puffing out of our chest and breathing into the front part of our ribs to really find a nice full deep breath and a stretching out. Take a breath in, stack your torso over your hips, and then bring your left hand forward to come to the outside of our right leg. Back arm lifts up and away from the torso. Gaze follows. And then let the head drop towards your shoulder. Lift the back arm up. Big breath in. And the arm that is reaching towards the front leg, lift it up. And then bring both arms down behind your back. This time fingers facing away from your hips. Puff out your chest. Let the head drop back. Breathe into the front of the sternum. The space between the ribs over your heart. Good. Now reach your right arm to the outside of the left leg. Back arm lifts up off the ground. You look behind you. Keep reaching the arm away and have the back arm stack over the torso. Breathe into the ribs. Find a gentle twist. Front arm reaches up and back as back arm comes down onto the ground to support. Side body stretch through the low back. Windmill the arms down. Shimmy your booty out from underneath you and fold yourself forward, reaching for your toes. Belly is loose, head is heavy, your breath is wide in the back ribs. Inhale, slowly roll your spine up, hands down behind you. Let the chin lift up, open your chest. Exhale, fold forward, forward fold. Start to move through the 2 cycles of motion, opening your chest and rounding forward with your breath. Nice and slow, really feeling into those subtle cues you can feel as you stretch out those stabilizing muscles of our spine. The areas that get really sticky when we hold and bear due to stress, pain, or discomfort. Last, move forward and back. And then change the orientation of the legs. Soles of feet come together, knees drop out wide, butterfly pose. Find that foundational core, lengthen the low back, grab onto your feet with your hands, and hinge your upper body forward. Since we are engaging our low belly, we have a flat back, we're finding this stretching out the deep hip muscles and pelvic floor. Let go of your hands. Bring the knees together, arms reach forward, still having that nice engagement of our core. Extend the left leg long, bring it back in. Extend the right leg long, bring it back in. Then butterfly with the legs, forward fold. Big breath. Inhale, bring the knees together. Extend your right leg long. Lift your leg 3 times. Engaging your low belly, finding strength through your hip flexors and relaxing your glutes or butt muscles. Do the same to the other side, keeping the spine long and the leg lifts slow and small. Exhale, butterfly the legs, fold yourself forward. Nice big inhale and exhale to lower the heart rate and find our center again. Squeeze the inner thighs together as knees touch. Extend the right leg long. 3 leg lift circles with your right leg. Squeeze knees together. Extend the left leg long. Crown of head reaches high. Stabilizing the pelvis by grounding down through the right hip, keeping the circles small and slow. Bring the left knee to meet right. Lift off your booty and roll forward onto your toes, setting the hips gently on the ankles. Hands come in front of your knees to support and moderate how much weight you're landing in your toes based off of what sensations you're feeling and based on the tensile strength of your plantar fascia. Nice big full cycles of belly breathing. Good. Untuck the toes, extend the right leg back behind you until your quad or your upper thigh lands on the ground. Bring your hands closer to your hips. Engage your core so you're feeling the stretch happening in the front of our hip and quad, stretching out the hip flexors. Big breath into the low back belly. Spread open your chest. Roll onto your left hip. Bring the back leg forward and to wrap around. And then squeeze the right leg. Then look behind you. Articulate around the center point of our spine. puff out your chest, root down through your hips. We want both hip bones on the ground. Release the upper leg. Left leg comes down. Extend the right leg back to 90 degrees. Low lunge, lift your chest up over your hips. Engage your core, and then stretch your arms up over your head and back. Windmill the arms down. Tuck your toes under, gentle flossing and bouncing of the soles of our feet to increase our load capability and tensegrity of our plantar fascia. And then we switch sides. Right leg sinks back, so we're stretching out the hip flexors. Then we engage our low belly to isolate the stretch and puff out the chest. Look forward, then up. Bring the hands closer to your front knee if you're seeking more sensation. Then let the weights drop onto the left hip. Bring the right leg up and around to wrap around the left knee. Squeeze the leg in. And gentle twist to look behind you if you'd like. Nice big breath in. Exhale and twist the legs. Bring the weight heavy into the front foot. Stack your hips over your back knee, low lunge. Engage the belly, lift the chest, and then bring your arms over your head and slowly drag your shoulder blades together as you lower your elbows, cactus pose. Exhale, let the hands come down to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toes under and just step yourself forward. Inhale, arms go up over your head as you stand yourself up. Grab your left wrist and tilt your body to the right. Side body bend. And do it on the opposite side. Pulling your spine out of your hips with each side bend. And then find equal standing between each one of your feet. Gentle bend in your knees, so we're neutralizing our pelvis. And then extend your right arm long towards your side, lifting it off the leg. And then I have the head side body bend away from the outstretched arm, so ear going closer to shoulder. And then play with the orientation of your wrist, flipping your wrist towards the back, towards the front, noticing how that is changing sensation that you're feeling through your neck. Keep working on that flossing and mobility of our forearm bones and our wrist, and learning how to open up those arm lines that can get really sticky. Like early in class, be intuitive. If one position feels really good, stick with it and hold the posture for roughly 30 seconds, taking nice full cycles of breath. Nice big breath. And exhale. Let it go. Reach your arms up over your head and then dive yourself forward, forward fold. Bring your hands to your shins, engage your foundational core, halfway lift, extend your head long away from your pelvis. And then slowly let it go and then roll yourself back up to standing. Switch sides. Find your standing neutral position, equal weight in all four corners of the feet. You want to feel that bone stacking of your spine really stacking over your pelvis. Left arm comes off the side body. Neck reaches away from the hand, so ear coming towards the shoulder. And then you play with the orientation of your wrist and your forearm, having it go from facing towards the front and then facing all the way towards the back. Stay where it feels juicy. Take a few breaths where you feel the most stickiness. We have a slight engagement here, so every time we breathe, we should feel our ribs and our back body expanding. Exhale, let it all go. Arms up over your head. Reach yourself long. Find space in all your joints. Interlace the fingers, the low back space, and as you fold forward, arms come up over your head. When you've met your maximum, stretch through the chest, let the arms go. Widen the space between our feet, toes facing out, heels in. Squat yourself down between your feet, spreading the knees wide, opening the pelvic floor bowl. Breathing deep into our pelvis and hips. And then just sit yourself back down. Grab your pillow, fold it in half, and bring it to land roughly where your rib cage is. We're going to end with a passive opening of our ribs and our chest as we take nice full cycles of breath and letting time and gravity help us find more space through our chest. You choose the orientation of your legs and your arms. I do encourage you to have your arms out wide to whatever capacity your shoulder joints allow. That will help the clavicle, the top shoulder bone, find more space and unstick it from the top parts of our ribs, which is a really common area for a lot of people to have congestion and tightness through. And now we just land. Notice how your body feels now compared to the beginning of class. That be motivation for you to keep coming back to this practice, because it does truly make you feel better. It connects you with your body, it opens up your breath patterning, and it moves the fluids of your body, prevents stiffness, and provides some mental clarity. Then we lean into the ground that's supporting us. We soften the tissue. We deepen the breath, and we wait. When we do these long passive holds, time is really the trickiest and sometimes the hardest part to commit to. It takes anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes to really allow the density of the connective tissue that surrounds the rib cage, the sternum, the heart space to soften. Be gentle with yourself. It's not an easy ask to sit and do nothing for 5 minutes. Over time and with practice, it gets easier, more enjoyable, and you pick up more of the subtle details and shifts within your body and soft tissue, specifically through a soft tissue system called the fascial system. When you're ready, very slowly roll yourself to one side of your body. Take a nice big breath in this position, deep into the back body. Open the eyes and start to bring yourself back into the space, into your present moment. Start to bring yourself back into your surroundings. I'm going to end the class here. I encourage you to take the time you need. I'll keep the video running for a few more minutes. And as always, thank you for practicing with me.